Hey, so I thought I'd do a video. So I'm following Muscle Food on Instagram, and they posted a video on they're basically endorsing, I think it's a Monster Ultra energy drink. Now, if you don't know what the Ultra range is, it's like zero sugar. It kind of pissing me off, guys, because you don't understand how dangerous energy drinks can be, how addictive they can be as well. It's not necessarily just, obviously, it's all right if you only drink a few or if you only drink a day, but I got so sensitive caffeine, like I will never be able to have a pre-workout. That's how bad, I'm sensitive. Like, I could have a cup of coffee and that is it. I'm stuck. I've got heart palpitations. To be fair, I don't even need to have caffeine anymore to have heart palpitations. I just have them. I had my heart, before you all freak out, I did have my heart checked at the time when I was getting loads of them, and they were like, it's probably the caffeine. My heart all came back fine, but I still think there's something wrong, because I said I don't even have to have a day where I don't have caffeine and I still get heart palpitations. I don't know if it's just because my anxiety's just gotten worse, but I just get them now anyway, with or without caffeine. But basically, it was a time that I was doing a lot of overnight, and obviously stay awake. I used to drink a lot of caffeine, and there was one time I had like 4 cans. It was 3 cans and a half, because my friend gave me like half of it. I thought, I can't finish this off. Like, when you've had enough and you've had enough, like, that's it. That's when I went to the doctor, because I was getting them really bad over the overnights. I just assumed it was because of the stress, because we were always low staffed, because they were doing that on purpose, because they always have low labour on the overnight, which is wrong, because it still gets quite busy, because obviously people have gone out drinking and stuff. It's fine having the low labour like Monday, Tuesday, but when it comes to like Friday, no. So I just assumed, it was stress, but she came to the conclusion it was energy drinks. But as I said, now I can't have any sort of caffeine without the risk of having a heart palpitations, which isn't bad. If you don't know what a heart palpitation is, it's the feeling where your heart's beating really fast, and it can last for how many minutes? For me, the longest I've had it last for like a minute. I've had it at work before recently. I didn't have caffeine then, but it was like, oh my god, it just feels like your heart's just gonna just stop, and you're just gonna have a heart. It's a horrible feeling. I don't like. I wouldn't. Wish it on my worst enemy. It's the worst feeling ever. Also, I get it in, like, as I said, why I think as well my anxiety's got worse, because I know if I do have it and I'm going, I don't know, to a Comic Con or to an event or something, I know it will come, so I just avoid having caffeine. Now I just try and avoid it completely. If you do want energy, you're best off having a caffeinated coffee, because when I compare that to an energy drink, I find that I can have that 1 cup of coffee and it keeps me awake for most of the day, whereas with an energy drink, I have to have loads of them before I'm like fully awake, you know what I mean? Whereas 1 cup of coffee, it works. Like, if you ask me who really wants, like, I don't know, you're feeling tired, you didn't get enough sleep, I recommend that you just go for the coffee than the energy drink. The energy drinks are really, really bad. And I know people say they're fine in moderation and stuff like that, but they can get addictive. So, I definitely recommend that you avoid them. Like before, I thought it was wrong how like Tesco and Co-op are banning you have to be like 18 now to buy energy drinks. I think it's Co-op as well. I know it's definitely Tesco, and I was like, that's totally wrong. It's not even, it's not a law thing. I still believe that if someone under the age of 18 takes it to court, they'd probably win, because it's not actually a rule, because then it'll be classed as discrimination. But anyway, that's a different story. If you think about it, I think that it is right, because a lot of them, like 16-year-olds, are getting them like before school or like after school, and they don't know the risks, and they will have like how many cans of this stuff. So I'm sort of maybe not 18, maybe have it to 16, like under 16s or under 17s maybe, but because it does actually say on the cans not for consumption if you're like under 16 or for young children and stuff like that. But either way, as I said, if you want energy, you're better off drinking a coffee, because coffee works a lot better than an energy drink. And I think it's actually disgusting how how you know, someone who's meant to be like a health like a health website is endorsing energy drinks. I think it's totally wrong, if you ask me. But yeah, that is like my story with energy drinks. But as I said, I still get heart palpitations. I'd rather wait for 3 years. It's a lot dangerous with me as well, because obviously I am into, like, I do fitness now, so I'm at the gym like more or less, well, not every day, but 4 days a week. So it is, for me, it's more, you know, it's more of a worry if there is something wrong with my heart. And obviously they've not picked it up, but I'm literally waiting, because if I work at McDonald's for 3 years, I think it's 3 years or 3 years more, it'll be 3 years in August, I will get private health care. And as soon as I get that private health care, I'm going private so they can properly look at my heart. I'm not saying that NHS didn't do it properly, but I think if I went back to the doctors, because they're all cash strapped and stuff like that, I don't think they'll look into it a lot more. Whereas I think private, they'll look into it a lot more, because it is something that I do worry about. But as I said, I was getting heart palpitations before I was having the energy drinks anyway, but it was like now and again. So there was something at the back of my brain where I was thinking maybe something isn't right. But you know, the NHS hasn't picked it up, so I'm like waiting for that private healthcare to try it. So overall, as I said, I'd avoid energy drinks. As I said, if you want like energy, because energy drinks are mostly, obviously, apart from that one that has a lot of sweeteners, it's got what is it, sweeteners instead. But even then, sweeteners aren't the best thing either. You know, because really an energy drink, it's got caffeine in it, yes, but you know, it's not that much. It relies on the sugar as well, whereas the coffee, you know, that caffeine, it really does keep you awake compared to the energy drinks. But you know, that's that. So I'm actually pretty pissed that they're actually endorsing this, to be honest with you, because as I say, caffeine drinks are addictive, and they're endorsing it, saying, you know, they're trying to benefit how caffeine's good for you. Yeah, there is some health benefits to caffeine, shockingly enough. But as I said, you're better off getting it from coffee than an energy drink. It just pisses me off a little bit. But yeah, as I said, I can't really have pre-workouts at all. I remember one time I did. I think this was years and years ago. This is the first time I decided to go to the gym. I had an energy drink on the way to the gym. Yeah, that was a bad idea actually. I couldn't, like, I had to stop, because yeah, that was bad. I'm not actually a heart palpitation at the gym at the minute, but I know if I will have a pre-workout, I definitely will. So I'm avoiding pre-workouts for that reason. But as I said, I'm limiting down my caffeine intake. But as I said, any little caffeine, that is it, I could have heart palpitations, which, as I said, they're not the greatest feeling whatsoever. So that is it for this video. So bye guys.